Let me do it again. I don't want that clap in there.
Yeah.
All right, here we go.
Got to work on my posture.
You were good. The slouch was all
No,
good.
dude, I'm a sloucher.
Me too.
Hey everybody, welcome to episode 9 of Live at the Rack Season 2. We're joined here today by our friend Ryan Roth, solo artist and main brain behind the Sideshow. Welcome, Ryan.
Hey.
How you guys doing, man? It's been a while.
Hey,
Fantastic.
yeah.
It's good to see you guys. Good to see the new setup, too, man. I like it in here.
Stellar, thanks.
it's
I made it.
I love what you guys are doing. I do. I've loved it for years, so I'm glad to be back here hanging out with you guys.
We haven't seen you since the pandemic started,
Yeah, since COVID wiped out everything that humanity had to offer.
including happiness.
Yeah, it wiped all happiness out of the face of America.
Ruined everything.
So here we are in the post-apocalyptic wasteland.
Yep. Mask free, finally.
Yes.
Yeah, we're here to
Yes.
chew gum and get vaxxed, and we already
Right.
got vaxxed. So where's
Is this
the
our
gum?
first?
Yeah, this is the one.
This is our first maskless episode.
Maskless episode, too.
Yeah, this is
I
it.
feel like I should have worn my mask.
Yeah, we've had masks on all season, so here we are.
No, I think it's
No, it's
good.
great.
We're finally all up
There's
to
our chins.
Yeah, it's good to be back to some sense of normal.
and it's weird. We've like all been waiting for it, but I don't think that we'll ever actually like reset. We'll never make it back to just like what was normal before.
Is that a bad thing? I honestly question that now. Like
I mean,
not
partly
about it.
for me, part of the biggest change is realizing just how terrible a vast majority of the people around us truly are, and
Yeah.
that really sucks to think about. Like, there are some really nasty people in this world.
And
that sucks.
I walked into a Rite Aid yesterday, and both employees were talking really loud to each other about how if they didn't have to wear it at work, they wouldn't, and they don't wear it anywhere else. It's against their personal beliefs. And
Yeah.
I'm just trying to buy some milk real quick, and I'm like, oh, this is gross. I want to get out of here.
I work up on the lake, and the lake life people, you know,
Oh,
'cause
yeah.
they're like majority of them are boomers.
Yeah.
I had overheard some ladies talking about they said that the vaccine has baby fetus parts in it. They're
There's
like
some
that's
crazy
why they won't.
philosophies
That's
out
just good
there.
science.
Yeah, like all
I
right.
think she's
well.
mixing her conspiracy theories. Up.
Yeah, I thought that was like wasn't that the Chris Reeves and was that a South Park episode? I butchered it, but
Yeah.
where he was like sucking baby fetuses to like walk.
Ugh.
Anyway, so
Whew, okay.
I've walked into stranger conversations. This is not out of the norm for me.
This is Bush League conversation for you.
This is good. This is good. No, it has been an interesting year, though. It definitely has.
Art projects, because you're an extremely multifaceted person. I know
Yes,
that you
sir.
do a lot of like carving and all sorts of artwork and music and writing. So what kind of new developments did you have over this last year? Also, since you had a ton of motivation with a new baby in your life. you
Yeah,
know?
man, it's been an interesting year all the way around.
Yeah.
Like COVID shut everything down, and there's in some of the mediums I work with, I had a really good year before that. Like the stuff I did in pumpkins and ice the year before, like I was really proud of that. It felt like I was really at a point where like my work could stand beside
Oh yeah,
some of those that I look up to in both of those industries. You know, there's a lot of those guys that, and I know you guys see my work and you're like, holy crap, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Like
I've
there's
seen
some
the guys
pieces
who
I do
talk-
where I'm like, holy crap, that was awesome.
I've seen the guys you're talking about too.
But
and
like,
it's just like
the,
I don't
the,
understand.
the group of guys in that field are so talented, and like I could rattle 10 of them in each field that I look up to. So like I was just starting to feel like, man, my work's kind of just starting to get there, right? And like it takes a while to learn these things. You know, I've been doing the ice and pumpkins for over a decade now. So
Right.
like as my focus. So yeah, that kind of got to where like I feel like I can do that now, you know. But then like you said, COVID came in and knocked everything out. Our industry took a big hit.
And then a dude ate a bat.
Yeah, man, it really took a big. We hung out there a lot longer than some of the other people in our industry, just because we were diverse enough in bagged ice,
Right.
ice for craft ice for cocktails.
Yeah, that is
you know,
really
cubes and
public.
spheres
That's a
and
public
Amish
industry.
ice.
I didn't
Yeah.
think about that because that's
Yeah,
and you're doing
everything
like a
we-
live performance.
Is
there.
all live demo art. So everything that I used
Yeah.
to do, whether that be ice carving, pumpkin carving, sand carving, chalk drawings, the list goes on, all those events got wiped out. So that really, and it honestly, even with events coming on backline this summer, it'll be at least another year until that industry bounces back, because most of those are driven on advertising dollars, and everybody's advertising dollars shifted. Nobody, they took all their advertising dollars and put it into COVID funds, for whether it be PPE, whether it be for signage, all that kind of stuff. All that budget went whoop. Well, it's going to take a while for those budgets to come back, and anything that resembles advertising or having fun, it's bottom line first, fun second. Now with that, you still see it's slowly coming back in the wedding business, the graduation party business, and stuff like that. But with so much uncertainty, nobody's still throwing big parties.
Yeah.
Big chunk of our money was drink luges during the summer. People are shying away from those, even though they are actually the safest thing in the market right now, even during with COVID, because they constantly clean themselves.
Oh, right. Melting. Oh, yeah, that makes sense.
And the alcohol, but that's totally other.
So
the booze and ice is the two safest things you can put on your mouth.
Did that slow down on that end? Kind of push you into the music and help with?
Yeah, it shut everything down. And then, personally, I was in an accident in November, the first week of November, and it tore my shoulder. So I had to have shoulder surgery, and that shut me down from basically holding any of my tools, like the chainsaw, the die grinders. It took me 6 weeks to be able to get the guitar in my hand after the surgery. I just was able, and it wasn't the fact that I couldn't move my fingers, it was the fact that I could not get my arm out this way yet. I was just able to hold my daughter. I had just gotten the weight restrictions to 10 pounds and was able to hold my daughter, but I still didn't have full movement. Good thing she wasn't Yeah, oh, dude, yeah. She's that weight. She's over that now. She's like 13 pounds now, and I was walking around at the zoo today with her in my arms. I'm like, man, you're dead weight, girl. But
that's how my son. He wouldn't. He was one of those babies that wouldn't hold on. He wouldn't cling, and he still does it. And now he's 4, and he's just like, hold me, and then he'll just
dead weight.
And I'm like, dude, one arm in him. I had to do it today. Walking to the hospital, dude, come on.
With everything, it'll come back to haunt us, I'm sure, when she's a little older. But with everything we had go through with having Matilda in February, Sandy almost passed away twice during the procedure.
Yeah, we were kind of following along. We saw the.
Yeah, and it was a very, very trying time, and it was, I've had 3 kids prior that were older and in their teens, and all of them were born healthy, and all of them, no complications. We were home in 2 days. This one was not that. It was a different experience.
It's terrifying.
It was terrifying, and we spent just under 2 full weeks in the NICU, and I sat in that NICU and watched basically men who were old enough to be my kids, what do I do? What am I doing here? Going through that same thing. And I had 43 years of lifetime experience and a lot of good friends to talk to during that time. But I can't imagine being them kids in that situation, and it just, it really helped me. I tried to love on them as much as I could while I was in there, and, I know the day we were checking out, there was a guy checking in, and he was coming up the elevator. I was going down, and bumped into each other, said, hey, man, I see you're on the same floor as me, and he's like, man, there's all kinds of complications. It's my first baby. I said, how old are you? He said, I'm 18. And I'm like, oh, Jesus, man. But so kind of just talked with him for a couple minutes. But I like finding myself in those positions, right? To be able to say, hey, this is,
a life for somebody else.
Yeah, and we found ourselves in those positions a lot this year. It's been a year of changes artistically. I've just booked a wood job. I'm going to be doing a 10-foot tall, 4-foot diameter tree out in Swanton in the next week and a half or 2 weeks. So, it'll be good to get the saw back.
Definitely.
I started painting again and working in clay, truthfully. I couldn't, without being able to support the saw and stuff, I just thought, how can I keep this going? So I've started making mushrooms out of clay and just
I did see that.
I deal with a lot of, anytime I can get my hands on animal bones, I love it. And so
I saw the art page that you created.
Yeah. So I'll take marbles and clay to animal bones and try to make them into other creations. And just doing it. I try to be as creative as possible. We've got a beautiful area and a beautiful creative force in this area. There's a lot lot of talented artists in many mediums, you know. So there's guys all over here that I look up to in different areas of painting and different areas of sculpture work. And
so let's shift from the saw to the axe. Now
saw to the axe. I like how you do that.
So what's the first song that you have for us? And is this a new song? Is this an old song?
Yeah, that's both of those today were newer tunes. The first one was Teotihuacan. I spend a lot of time studying ancient civilizations, both
I got that vibe
artistically and religiously and culturally.
Yeah.
You can read a lot about a civilization through its artwork, especially stone carvers. You know, me being
kind of, I mean, like the whole, almost the entire Egyptian history. It's,
everything.
That's how we know any of it.
I love the ancient Sumerians. I love their artwork. I love their styles, and I love Mesoamerican.
Ancient aliens.
Yeah, don't get me started on that. We'll be here all day.
Allegedly.
This little interview is going to be like a 7-hour conversation about a great many things, because we get disclosure in June. Let's not forget that the Pentagon has until June.
We don't have time for this.
So
we don't have time.
Pandemic the sequel.
But that's what really got me looking at it, right?
Right?
Is like all these Mesoamerican sites through South America. And Teotihuacan is the city of the gods, as I've always heard the translation, but it really is the city where men become gods or like gods. So that concept always kind of like called to me, you know. And I was just sitting there writing like some just stupid rhymey stuff one day, and I had this like, if Katie comes calling, tell her I'm walking. Down on the beaches of Mexico.
It's kind of like a B story too.
Yeah,
I like it.
You know, and like, so it was kind of like this, like breakup song, like kind of a deal, but not. It's more like what set the guy off on the journey, right, down through South America, and he starts going down there and he's looking for something, doesn't really know what, but it starts off in like, you know, the Cancun resort town,
right?
You know, I'm just drinking on margaritas on the beach and. They're all just, I'm the white guy down here, you know what I mean? I'm the gringo who's just down here soaking up, you know, the Mexican culture. And then it kind of goes on to like Teotihuacan and Tikal and some of these, you know, ancient sites and what they're talking about. So, and it like, it's all about that blood sacrifice, right? And like how they used to cut people's hearts out while they were still beating. And if that ain't a breakup, I don't know what is. You know what I mean? Like, so I love the imagery of this guy who's literally got his heart in his hand. Like, what am I doing with this thing?
I think there's a really good double meaning
to you know, this guy walking up the stairs as a sacrifice. You know, and there's a song where I talk about. It's called 1500 Years From Now. The name of it's Göbekli Tepe, but I only made it that so I could learn how to say it, and I kind of did the same thing with Teotihuacan.
And it worked.
And Teotihuacan was so that like, I'll just name the song that, and then I have to figure out how to say it. So that's where that one came out of. It's
well,
just kind of that.
Let's take a listen to
Teotihuacan.
That song.
If Katie comes calling, tell her I'm walking down the beaches of Mexico, drinking margaritas with top shelf tequila, waiting on a warm Gulf breeze to blow. And I've learned some other lingo. They call me the gringo, others a buscador. If you're asking me for certain, it's a place or a person, well, this time you know I'm really not sure. Katie comes calling, well, tell her I'm walking through the ruins of old trail of the panther to how a kingdom can fall. 'Cause you gotta swing it heavy, the drop of your machete, just to cut through the twisted vine. And what lies uncovered, yet to be discovered, it's forgotten by all the time. And me. And if Katie comes calling, we'll tell her I almost reached Teotihuacan. And if I make it up the stairs with my heart in my hand, then the last sacrifice is done. 'Cause it takes far more than these idle offerings to appease these gods of war. So if Katie comes calling, tell her I'm gone and tell her I found what I was searching for in Teotihuacan. Teotihuacan. Calling, tell her I'm walking down the beaches of Mexico.
All right, so tell us about song number 2.
Song number 2, Broken Mason Jar. Good buddy of mine, Fish Fisher. I don't know if you guys are familiar with Fish.
No.
You need to be. He's one of my idols, truthfully, in the game. Goes around basically from here to Gatlinburg and everywhere in between. Songwriter. He's written thousands of songs with hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of people. He's in a couple different bands now. Just a real good guy. Actually, that's him right there on the What Would Fish Fisher Do tattoo. But he's really open about like what happens in his life, and he had shared how one of his friends had passed away, and it just really totally hit me. So I really wrote the song for him. It also covers some of my own experience with friends that I've lost. We've lost a bunch here in the 419 over the last year.
Definitely.
You know, my buddy Tim just passed away the other day. Bernie. And honestly, that list is a big, long list. So that song is really just kind of all that emotion of like just losing your friend and trying to pick up the pieces to it and carry on those legacies and those.
Yeah, everybody can connect to that.
Yeah,
too.
yeah.
Something for everybody. All right, well, let's take a listen to Broken Mason Jar.
Let's check it out.
Don't count the days no more since you've been gone, or all the nights I've lost wondering just why you had to go. Guess by now I should learn to say goodbye. But I find myself talking to you almost every night. Swore I heard you laugh and expecting to see you smile. I said with myself, why only to have it sink to the floor? Things just ain't the same without you around. In my pain I fear that somehow I have let you down. And I'm trying to pick up all of the pieces of a broken mason jar. I'm howling at the moon again on the front porch after closing down the bar. I speak right now, if I could find them words, they'll just stab me where it already hurts. Damn, I'm missing you. Damn, I'm missing you. I woke up half drunk again on the cabin floor. I must have drifted off, talking to you like I'm prone to do. I guess I just assumed you'd be the last to go. Wherever you find yourself now, I'm just hoping that you know that I'm trying to pick up all of the pieces of a broken mason jar. Howling at the moon again on the front porch after closing down the bar. And I'd speak right now if I could find the words, but they'll just stab me where it already hurts. Damn, I'm missing you. Damn, I'm missing you. And I'm trying to pick up all of the pieces of broken mason jar. Howling at the moon again on the front porch after closing down the bar. Speak right now if I could find the words, they'll just stab me where it already hurts. Damn.
All right, Ryan Roth and the Sideshow. Are you the Sideshow as a solo artist? Is that, or is it just Ryan Roth? Because I always kind of, I think there's a gray area there. Maybe
There's a gray.
I'm just confused about
There's
it.
a gray area. The
'Cause I know
Sideshow's
there's
a
like-
very unique thing.
You have a lot of people that come and go all the time.
And at this point, I just consider the Sideshow everything that revolves around me. My kids are members of the Sideshow.
Anybody
Santa's-
within a radius.
Yeah,
all
I mean,
the Rothschilds.
all the
are-
Rothschilds, except for the ones with money. All the broke Rothschilds are in the
Down on your
Sideshow.
luck, busted.
Anybody that picks up an instrument and sits down and jams with us is in the Sideshow. We're just that.
Cool, that's me and you.
That's you guys. You
We're
guys are in the
We're
Sideshow.
Roth's children.
I'll leave you guys some stickers. You guys can be bona fide. But no, it's at its core, yes. Do I book myself as the Sideshow? No. At minimum, I usually tend to leave that to Craig and I, which usually
Right.
means Craig's the Sideshow. So
Yeah.
people always ask him, are you the Sideshow?
Clown.
And it's something like honestly, I've thought about that. I've tried to drop the Ryan A. Roth off the Sideshow. I've tried to just call it the Sideshow, and
It's
people and everybody, they're like, it's just the thing. It is the Sideshow.
It sounds good. It rolls off the tongue, right? You know, that's what I know it as.
Yeah, and that's it.
The whole title.
No matter what, I'm not gonna pretty up. I'm not gonna,
Yeah.
you know, like I'm still gonna be the Sideshow freak. You know,
Yeah.
I'm always gonna be
pretty
doing
enough.
it differently than anybody else that's doing it.
So where can we find Ryan Roth in the Sideshow?
You can find me all over, but mostly at home.
Hey.
Enjoying my hermitness.
Mostly the internet people.
Which leaves the internet, which is like you can find me on the Instagram on R2 and the Sideshow. That's my personal side there. You can find the artwork, the band stuff gets thrown there. My personal stuff gets thrown there. Ryan A. Roth and the Sideshow. You can find that on Facebook. You can find that on Spotify. You can find it on iTunes.
Where's that Ryan Roth TikTok?
Oh, I am anti TikTok, and that may be my age, truthfully.
It is.
But I'm trying to get into like some more of this young, you know, the youth.
You're gonna have to.
And I think I qualify as.
No, you're not a boomer.
I'm not a boomer. I
Your
just
generation.
act like a boomer. It's really what it is. I'm an Xer with boomer tendencies.
That's weird. Don't do that.
It's past lives, man. They carry on, you know. But yeah, honestly, I'm not that hard to find. You can find me on YouTube. Like I drop stuff there too.
Yeah,
so.
Facebook, YouTube, Instagram.
Instagram,
Yeah,
R2 and the Sideshow is this
there.
one there. R2 Artworks. You can find some of my sculptures, paintings, some pumpkin work on there, some ice work, stuff
I love
like
that
that.
stuff.
Definitely.
That's
Yeah,
good- that's a
check
good
this
concept.
guy out. No matter what he's doing, find him, look it up, listen to it, buy it, whatever.
And keep following along with these guys, man. These guys are doing fantastic work. No, this is see now you know how I feel sitting in this chair. But no, like seriously,
Comfortable, 'cause that's an
what you
amazing
guys do here is awesome, and I mean that. There's a couple of you guys that do shows like this around here. You guys are one of the best ones at it, and I love you guys. Love you guys from day one. Love what you do. Love how you do it.
Appreciate it.
We need more of
that
this
means
kind
a
of
lot.
stuff. So, like,
Really?
dude, I love the
Put a lot of
setup
hard
you
work
have
into
in the
this.
new place.
A
It's
lot.
perfect.
Okay, Mark, come on. Freaking him out. All right. Well,
This is
Ryan
why I
Roth,
love these interviews.
thanks for joining us.
Seriously, thank you so much for
guys.
coming in.
Appreciate you both.
Oh man.
Guys,
Bring it in.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh,
keep going.
contact. It feels so
dude,
different.
that's
No
nice.
mask,
I'm a hugger,
touch
dude. I missed
hands.
all
I know.
that. Like, I am seriously a hugger. So,
And to everybody out there, thanks for
again
coming in.
Tuning in for Live at the Rack. It was great having you. Take it easy, y'all. Much love.
be good to each other out there.
Stop doing that, Mike.
Okay, sorry.